Lethal Weapon. Since the highly unnecessary TV series slash reboot is coming out in a few days on Fox 5, why not talk about the original Lethal Weapon films leading up to the TV series, which I'm not sure about going to review or not. Actually, I wanted to review these movies for a very long time, just like the Harry Potter films, which I am going to review Prisoner of Azkaban next weekend, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's talk about the Lethal Weapon quadrilogy, starting with, of course, the first Lethal Weapon. Honestly speaking, what is there to say about Lethal Weapon? This has to be one of the best action movies that ever came out in the 1980s, and this is the film that defined the buddy cop genre. I know this was the first buddy cop film, but this is the film that defines that genre and started a whole trend of other buddy cop films like Bad Boys. And I know 48 Hours came out before this, and all Bad Boys and the Rush Hour movies. Though we had so many other buddy cop movies that came out later on throughout the years, but this is the film when people think of buddy cop films, they think of Lethal Weapon as the first one they think of. Because this film is so iconic with these two characters, Riggs and Murtaugh, are both polar opposites. Murtaugh is the family man. He just turned 50. He's on his way on retirement. He's literally too old for this S. I'm not going to say the full word, but he's too old for this S. And literally, he's on his way to retirement. He has 3 kids, a loving wife, and Riggs is a loose cannon. This guy doesn't really work well with others. This is definitely a guy you don't want to F with at all. He is a very funny, likable guy, our main protagonist, but both these guys are protagonists, but Riggs is definitely the main protagonist. Murtaugh's more the antagonist in this film, but also, Riggs is broken. Yeah, this guy is damaged. His wife passed away years ago, and he is on a death wish. He's on the verge of even shooting his brains out. He is suicidal. And that scene where he had a gun in his mouth. First he had it at his head, then he put it in his mouth. He's crying. That music in the background was just excellent. And what made that scene so weird and so weird that they played Looney Tunes in the background. He was watching Looney Tunes, he looked at his wife, and he's about to shoot himself in the head, ready to burst his brains out. And I forgot how dark this movie was when I first saw that scene. Actually, the opening scene of this movie shows a naked woman snorting cocaine and jumping off a building and dies. Yeah, this movie, I forgot how dark the first Lethal Weapon was compared to the 3 sequels, which Lethal Weapon 2 started a whole comedy thing, but we're going to get to that tomorrow. But yeah, this first Lethal Weapon film was very dark, and really, Richard Donner really did a great job of setting the tone of this movie. That really, you instantly forget that this is also an action comedy movie. My favorite scene in this entire movie where Riggs and Murtaugh are on this mission to get this guy off the building who is just going to jump off the building and basically committing suicide. That's where Riggs saying, "Come on, don't do it, man. Come on, don't do it. I'll take you down. Come on, don't do it." That's when the guy said, "No, I'm jumping. That's where Riggs got to the point saying, "Do you really want to jump? Well, do ya? Well, that's fine with me. Come on, I want to jump too. I want to jump. Let's do this." Soon as both of them jump off the building in slow motion, that's when Murtaugh is looking like, "Oh God." That's when they landed a little floaty dinghy. That's when Rick started laughing. That's when Murtaugh and him that's when Murtaugh takes him to the store. That's when Murtaugh got to the point where saying, "Did you try to kill yourself? Do you want to die?" That's when Murtaugh just gave him the gun saying, "Do you really want to kill yourself? Well, prove it to me." That's where Riggs takes the gun, put it below his chin. He's on the verge of pulling the trigger. That's when Murtaugh takes the gun away from him. He was on the verge of basically shooting his brains out. That's when Murtaugh came to the conclusion saying, "This guy is really nuts. This guy is on a death wish." That's when, after that, Rick saying, "I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get something to eat." The dialogue in this film was so hilarious. Now, the villains aren't really the best parts in the Lethal Weapon franchise, in my opinion, but Joshua, played by Gary Busey, and Peter McAllister are two very diabolical and very scheming villains, and they're the ones that are responsible for Amanda Heinsteiger's death in the opening of this movie, the woman that fell off the balcony, then crashed into the car and died. They poisoned her, and then that's what caused her to snort cocaine and basically killed herself in this movie. Man, there's a lot of death and suicidal stuff in this movie. Wow, I forgot how dark this movie was. But anyway, they're the ones responsible for her death, and Riggs and Murtaugh are in the case of going after them. And then it really gets to the point where they captured Murtaugh's older daughter, Trish. That's when stuff just hit the fan, stuff went down, and that's when Joshua, played by Gary Busey, is a really cool villain in this movie. Gabriel's I can't do it again, I can't do the impression, but he was very cool in this movie too. A very stereotypical 80s villain who steals cocaine, basically your typical 80s villain in this movie, basically, but Joshua was great. Peter McAllister, he was there. In my opinion, Peter McAllister was there. But, yeah. But I don't know. I think that action movies that take place around Christmas time is very a funny setting. Because that's just like the weirdest setting for an action movie to take place in around Christmas time. This and Die Hard, really, they nailed it down. But sometimes I forget that this is a Christmas movie. And Die Hard. I forget both Die Hard and Lethal Weapon are basically Christmas movies. So, Die Hard and Lethal Weapon are one of my favorite Christmas movies, if you can say that. Guys, what is there more to say about Lethal Weapon? This is definitely one of the greatest action films of all time. Not only from the 80s, now, this movie is still great and it holds up very well. And really, this is a film that defined the buddy cop genre. And there's really no more to say about this movie. It's great. Lethal Weapon, of course, gets an A+. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Look forward for my review of Lethal Weapon 2 tomorrow. And boy, I do got a lot to say about that movie because that one is my favorite out of the 4. So let me know what you think of Lethal Weapon in the comment section down below if you've seen the original. And as always, guys, if you're new to my channel and you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.